Hi Mickey class, today we're going to make ice cream. It's actually really easy to do. The things that I didn't already have in my house, I was just able to order on Food Panda and then they brought it to my house for me. So it's actually really quick, really easy. We need a small bag, like a Ziploc bag that you can close. We need a large one that you can close. So we have a small one that's going to go inside the big one. We need some milk. We need some sugar and some vanilla. This is vanilla. It will give the ice cream flavor. And then we just need some salt and some ice cubes. In the small bag, we are going to put 1/2 of a cup of milk, a tablespoon of sugar, and a 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla. So let's do that. So I put a little bit more than the recipe says, just so it's easier to see. But then when everything is inside, you're going to close the bag. Then you're going to get your big bag, and you are going to put 2 cups of ice cubes and 1/2 cup of salt in the big bag. So now we're going to put the small bag inside the big bag. And then we'll close the big bag. And then what we're gonna do is we're just gonna shake it for 5 minutes. Shake it, shake it. So you wanna shake it until this starts to get thicker like ice cream. So what is happening when you shake it is the ice is actually pulling all of the heat out of the milk and the vanilla and the things inside the small bag. It's actually pulling out the heat, so it's making it colder that way. So it's using the science to make the ice cream. So let's see what happens in 5 minutes. Okay, so it's been 5 minutes. The ice is all melted now. Let's open up the bag and see what we have. So the bag is very wet, so I'm going to dry it off. But you can see it's all hard in here like ice cream. So let's open it up. Look at that. Look at that ice cream. Let's eat it. Let's see how it tastes. It's good, it tastes like ice cream. I just finished eating the ice cream. It was so yummy. So what happened? Let's talk about what happened. So we've talked before in science about how there are 3 states of matter. So we have solid, liquid, and gas, right? Liquid is like water. Solid is like ice. And gas is like clouds. We talked about this a long, long time ago, so it's okay if you don't remember. But when liquid gets very, very cold, it turns solid. So when water gets very, very cold, it turns to ice. And when solid gets very, very warm, it turns into liquid. So that's why when we have snow in the mountains in Taiwan, that's because it's so cold in the mountains, and we can't have snow in somewhere like Jubei or Sinju, right? Also, when liquid gets very warm, it can turn into gas. That's why the sun can make water turn into clouds, like we talked about. And so all of these things can change. So when we put the milk into the small bag, it was a liquid. And then in the outside bag, we have ice and salt. So ice is a solid, but when you put salt with ice, something very interesting happens with science, and it actually makes the ice melt. So that's why when I finished making the ice cream, the salt had made the ice turn into water in only 5 minutes. If you put ice outside of your freezer for 5 minutes, it will melt a little bit, but it won't be all water, right? So that's what the salt did to the ice. Now because of that salt and ice, it was actually making the inside bag, the milk, colder too. So like I said, all of the warmth from the milk came out. That also helped turn the ice into water. And then the milk started to get colder. So maybe the milk first was, maybe it was like 13 degrees. And then after I was shaking it for 1 minute, maybe it went to maybe 10 degrees. And then I was shaking it for more minutes, and maybe it went to 5 degrees. And when it gets to 0 degrees, that is when liquids turn into a solid. That is when water turns into ice, and when milk can turn into ice cream. So it made the milk so cold, and that is why it turned into ice cream. And that is some pretty cool science. So milk is a liquid, and ice cream is a solid, ice is a solid, and water is a liquid. So we started with liquid milk inside, solid ice outside, and then we finished with solid ice cream inside and liquid water outside. Very cool. So what really matters is you can make ice cream this way, and it's really yummy. So if you try this, let me know. It's a very fun activity to do when it's so hot outside. So let me know if you try this, and I will see you soon.